Dallas Mavericks versus the Minnesota
Damn.
Timberwolves. The Dallas Mavericks won today's game at Target Center, which is the home court for the Timberwolves.
Woo!
It was an interesting game. At first, I thought it would actually be a bit boring, I gotta admit. But it turned out in the fourth quarter, it wasn't quite the story. Because I don't feel like Anthony Edwards is playing at a high offensive rate the way he played in the start of the series. I think he has kind of dropped off, allowed more of his supporting cast to do the role. So he's not really that exciting anymore. I mean, how many points did Ant have? Anthony Edwards had only this. He was dropping a lot of points, and I think now he's playing more defense. But he had only 19 points today, and
how many assists?
And he had 8 assists. Quite fair.
Yeah. But like, if you think about it, you are shooting 8-9. Like, give me 20 in 10, and there I can't take it. 25 in 5, I can't take it, right? But 18 in 8,
Yeah, I mean, the topic behind this series entering the game was, how is Luka Doncic going to play? Because Jaden McDaniels, no one gets Luka in the league better than Jaden McDaniels. So today Jaden had 24 points, and Luka actually had a span in the fourth quarter when he was just scoring. Luka had 33, Kyrie had 30. That's a lot for the big two. That's a combined 63.
Bang.
You can't, and then even Daniel Gafford 10 points, PJ Washington 13 points. It's not gonna get it done, especially since Kat is only scoring 16 points and yet is made to score at least 20. It's not gonna get it done. So
funny story. Today I was at work and somebody told me that Kat is going to be out for indefinite time. And I was like, what are you talking about? Kat has been playing recently. And I was like, man, I'm not gonna watch this game if Kat is out, because then it's just gonna be too easy. But yeah.
And even if you look at the bench of what the Wolves can outscore the Mavs is the bench because of Naz Reid. Naz is him. He had 15 points. He outscored the whole bench of the Mavs. I mean, 9-3-2, that's a combined 14 points for the Mavs. And he had 15. Him alone had 15 points. So they can rely on, that's the good thing about the Wolves. They can rely on the bench, they can rely on their defense. But it feels like their offense is not quite as the defense is up to now. And today I actually watched the defense of Luka is actually improved. He has kept up another level.
No, people don't know this. People don't know this.
Yeah.
Luka can play defense. He just chooses not to, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll see him, he'll be like, after like making, instead of going back to defense, he'll just be throwing hands to the ref. But I mean, like, you look at the Clippers series, yeah? He showed people that he can actually play defense. He just doesn't want to during the regular season.
And Luka came up big in the fourth quarter. He had 12 points. There was especially the game-defining plays. Mike Conley gets the ball. Instead of taking the 3, the time is getting done. He attacks the paint. He wants to lob it up to Rudy Gobert. Luka, surprisingly, gets the deflection to deny the flash down from Gobert. And then it comes out this end, cup of ball swings. Luka gets the ball wide open. He waits for Ant to come out, and then he, kind of goes into him and step backs, gets into his spot, pulls up, makes a big three. And Luka came up big actually. He had 3 defensive clutch plays. And I was like, okay. People
forget that Luka is actually 6'8", 6'7".
Yeah.
Like he is that tall, and he plays point guard position, but he is tall. So breaking up that lob to Gobert makes sense, right? Because if he wants, he can even jump higher than that, right? But also it was when he stopped Mike Conley from driving, right? Like Mike Conley dribble moves, stands in front of him. I'm like, wait a minute, how is Luka moving his feet like that? He doesn't do that normally. But also, you talked about the bench, yeah? the bench of the Mavs not getting it done, being outscored by Naz Reid. But now, what do you think if the bench actually scores? Right. So you gotta check the Minnesota Timberwolves starters. Can they produce to the same level as the Mavs starters are doing, right? And then let the bench do their roles if needed. Yes, Naz Reid came up big, but did the starters of the Wolves, right? So I think it's gonna be a very interesting series to see, given how much it's game one. I gotta tell you, it's game one. Yeah. They're gonna come back with adjustment here and there, but one thing I want you to look at is the size, right? These two teams have the similar size. Yeah, they have Derek Lively and they have Gafford, right?
And PJ Washington.
And PJ Washington is tall. He's actually really, really tall. I saw it the other day when he was guarding, I think he was guarding Chet Holmgren. And I was like, wait a minute. PJ Washington looks like a guard, but he's actually really long. But I think you have to understand that Anthony Edwards is a good player. Really, really good player. Great player. Right? But
he's a good player.
Look at the person they put in front of him, Jones. Yeah, and Jones isn't your regular defender. Yeah, he is fast, he is long, agile, athletic, so he can defend with the best scorers, right? Whoever you give him. So it's gonna be interesting to see what does Ant-Man does, because with Denver, he forced Denver to double team him, right? But it looked like it was single coverage most of the time on him, right? They sent Jones, and he couldn't get past Jones. I was like, wait a minute. Unless they brought the Gobert, pick and roll. And then but Gobert can't shoot, he can't shoot threes. So they went in the drop, right? And when I'm playing in the drop, it allows Jones to kind of go over the screen and harass Edman and forces him to give up the ball. The only efficient thing that was helping them was the pick and roll with Carl's. The name always escaped, but because he can shoot.
Yeah, 3 points, they're definitely better in the 3-point team than the Mavs. But if you look at the shots they're taking, they're too little shots. Katz only 6 for 20. He's only taking 20 shots. Ant has only taken 16 shots, 6 for 16. You look at the Dallas Mavs, Luka has taken 23 shots. Kyrie has taken 25 shots. And you look at the percentages, the Timberwolves were 42.7 from the field and the Dallas for the 49.4. You look at this game and you look at the scoreboard and you're like, there was only one winner, which was the Dallas Mavs. And it actually came to, it proved so. Even if the Timberwolves had less turnovers than the Mavs, it feels like the Mavs offense overpowers the Timberwolves offense. And I know everyone is going to say defense is what matters, but it's not going to get it done. And I actually thought from the beginning, Timberwolves win game one, but now I'm actually worried. I'm actually worried for Ant, especially because he hasn't quite picked up from game, I think, 3 from the Denver Nuggets. Game 3 versus the Denver Nuggets, he hasn't quite brought the offense. We haven't quite seen him. They won game 7 when he was 6 for what? He had only like a very few points in that game 7, 6 for 24.
Yeah, he also looked at it.
He even said in the press conference that, dang, our shit, bro. He was like, I sucked in that game. He looked at it. That was bad. Since I think Denver, that game 3 up to now, he hasn't quite picked up, and he needs to step up. And because the bench, you're going to get something from Naz, you're going to get something from Nakil. Nakil is just a very good defender. You're going to get something from a couple of them. You're going to outscore them. Most likely, you're going to outscore the Mavs bench. You're going to outshoot them from the 3-point percentage. But Luka, and if you don't have someone to outscore Luka and Kyrie combined, remember like that we talked about how Lakers at least was Jokic and Murray at least were being crossed out by AD and LeBron. These guys, Kyrie and Luka, are outscoring Katz and Anthony. So where are they going to pick up the points from? they'll win some games, but if they're not careful, the Mavs. But there's also the Mavs. There's some games they struggle as well, so it's still a wide open game. Nothing to judge about losing game 1 at home. They can fix it right back on Friday. Come back, win game 2, go to American Airlines in Dallas, Texas, 1-1, and we'll see how it goes from there. So,
but really, I think yes, it's game 1, right? But what does that do to the Timberwolves? Mental type of thing. This is I would call this a stinky loss. Because you had that game right here, and it slipped, but it's gonna be a testament to how mentally strong these T-Wolves are, because that kind of stays. Like I know we talk about like a loss is a loss, but there is a loss that you were like, I just, one step. It's either it gives you confidence that the next time that step won't even be there, or it's like maybe if I had it and I couldn't get it, that means they were, better. But I think the matchups are gonna be everything, as in who's gonna guard who, right? Because as much as McDaniels is calling him McDonald's. He's a good defender. They are, they are too good, right? The Mavs are too good to just let McDaniels. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna say MC or something. Jaden. Jaden is good, but Luka doesn't score one way, right? He has a way of scoring against size. He has a way of scoring against fast. He has a way of scoring against small. And he just doesn't show it every time, right? That's why we say, yes, he can't guard him, blah, 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 blah. But you can't guard him because Kyrie is somewhere and they're worried about Kyrie and they can't double off of anybody, and then when it comes to size, yes, T-Wolves has been good with size with Gobert, but now Lively and Gafford, man, that's a good matchup. Like you're not worried about size. And PJ Washington is also like this tall, and Luka is tall. The only short guy is Kai, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see who do you put on Luka and who do you put on Kyrie. And then on the Mavs, I think they have all the things they need to match up those guys. You can let Jaden to go for 29 as long as Ant-Man has 10. That doesn't matter sometimes.
I mean, you saw the play, I think the play that made the dagger, it's called a dagger play. When after that play, you can't come back. When Luka passed to Kyrie passed it to PJ, was wide open.
Yeah.
He makes the 3. And he's been making big threes these days.
I don't
He kind of thinks what the first quarter is things, second, third is things. But in the fourth quarter, he's been making the big shots. And then these guys get the ball back, and then Kat misses a 3. So when your opponent makes a 3 and you miss a 3, and they come back and you just have to foul, the game is pretty much done. So that was the play that made them. I think what set the tone was the tip from Luka. They made the big 3 from PJ. PJ has been on fire, especially in that.
No, I'm actually like, man, they got a piece out of Washington, man, out of Charlotte. Yeah. Like that was a good pickup.
Yeah, it was a good pickup.